When it comes to meat, it seems like there's one group within that is head and shoulders above the rest, and that's fish, especially fish like salmon, the fatty fish with the omega-3s. You've dedicated a whole chapter in your book talking about how there's more to that story. So for people out there that are including fish on a regular basis, even up to a few times a week, thinking this is a great thing for them, let's share the other side of the story.
Yeah, so the other side of the story is that the data isn't that positive that fish is really good for you. And that was a shock to me because I thought, well, everyone knows fish is good for you. It's been drummed into me, for all of my life, and as a doctor and just as a kid, and as a parent as well, teaching my children, you've got to have this. It's good for your brain. You're going to fail your exams if you don't have fish. And of course, my son hated fish, and so it was always a struggle. But the studies show marginal improvements in longevity or health or heart disease in fish eaters versus non-fish eaters. So we're talking about sort of 5 to 8% improvements. So people expect it to be massively different. So that's within the margin of error. There's no evidence that eating fish is harmful for you in normal quantities, but I think the evidence that we must eat it to be healthy really isn't there. Anything like the evidence. It's been massively hyped. And there are other ways of getting your omega-3s through a whole wide range of plants, and also some high quality, grass-fed meats as well. And so the idea that we should all be eating 2 or 3 portions of fish it doesn't hold up health-wise, but also we're going to kill off all the fish on the planet very soon if we follow that advice. And we've now lost something like 60% of our fish stocks in recent times, and most of the fish we eat is farmed. And to produce farm fish, you produce masses of environmental damage, and you have to kill off lots of other fish to feed those ones that then look nice on our plate. So I think we need to have a real new look at fish. And I think, yes, let's get high quality fish on the menu, but let's get the sustainable types. Let's stop treating this as a special, you can't touch fish. It's a wonderful food for the planet. It certainly isn't. And, seeing the horrors that in prawns and shrimps that come from these massive factories, aquaculture factories in Asia, and exported around the world really is bad. So we need to know much more about fish and stop treating it with such reverence. But I still like fish in a restaurant. You can't beat a good fish, but let's pay extra for something that's sustainable and is really tasty and hasn't been fed other live fish just to make it look nice.
So you're not a fan of overdoing the fish, not a fan of supplements. So it's safe to assume you're not a fan of fish oil, which is the biggest supplement people are buying. Talk about if there's any benefit whatsoever of taking that.
For most people, there is no benefit. If you're on a really poor diet, I think, supplements do help people on very poor diets. And there's some evidence from the biggest trials that if you've just had a heart attack and you have a poor diet, then omega-3 supplements can actually help you. But for 95% of the population, they've shown in very large randomized trials that there's no difference to placebo. So if there is an effect, it is pretty tiny. And we are spending billions on omega-3 oils with massive promotions, and the data simply doesn't stack up. So again, this is my general attitude towards supplements. The more we talk about them, the more we diminish understanding real food and how we can get all these nutrients from other sources, from nuts and seeds and plants, in other ways other than from a bottle, and improve our general health. Every time everyone says, here's a quick cure for this, it means you're not educating someone about how else you should be getting that omega-3. And I think that's really important. So massively overhyped. I'm sorry. I'll upset lots of people who swear by it. And no evidence it makes you or your kids brainier either.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
So it does mean a little bit of education about our bodies and, this new organ that's suddenly come into our lives, which we didn't know 10 years ago really was there, that all of us have.